And welcome back to another video. My name is Willpower Coix, along with Johnny from Expert Boxing. And now we're going to go to the second part of my last video, so be sure to check the first one if you haven't. Stay here because it kind of goes together. This is the business side of professional boxing, transitioning from the amateur game to the professional game. And one thing that I completely didn't realize starting from the amateurs and going into the pro level is all the little things, the nuances, the things you got to do before you even become a pro. You got to get licensed. And I know in the amateur, all you had to do was sign on the internet, buy your amateur licensing book, and bang, that's all you got to get. But honestly, in the pros, is a whole different level. Now, boxing, I think UFC too, MMA are the only sports that are regulated by the government. So not only now are you dealing with the government, you have to deal with medical stuff now. You got to get in Illinois, and every state's different, so be sure to research and know what your state requires you. In Illinois, you got to get a brain scan. You got to get a full sports, not a sports physical, a different type of physical. And I wish I knew the name, but I can't think of it right now. You have to go through testing. And if you're a certain age, you got to get a heart check. You got to do all these little things before you become a pro. And that's one thing that I just didn't even think about. And that's going to cost you insurance money too. So be aware of that. And you know, you got to get a license to go across the states, because not only you need a state for Illinois, you also need a license to go across the country, because every state's different and they require different things. So you need a state license and a national license. So be sure to research to know what you need to get done, have everything ready so you're not wasting too much time. Now, another thing in the professional thing that I did, that was for me to transitioning from the amateur game, is the business side, the marketing. You have to market yourself. The social media, you got to make sure your social media is, you have maybe your personal one, but also have a boxing one. You don't want to be this WWE character, but you want to present yourself in a way that you think you will gain an audience from. You know, I'm a humble guy. I don't like to brag. I don't like to be brash. But when it comes down to spitting, I need to be able to have that, you know, confidence. So make sure you have your ideal image and what kind of boxer you're going to be. You know, there's some great fighters out there who never were good at marketing. They just relied on the promoter to do it. And you never want to do that. Never allow someone to give you handouts. You got to go work for it. Because Guillermo Rigondeaux is one of the greatest fighters. He's one of the greatest amateurs ever. He knows the sport in and out. Great technique. But have you ever seen a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
You know, there's no pay-per-view Guillermo Rigondeaux, but there is Tank, you know, there is, you know, Leo Santa Cruz, there's, you know, Pacquiao, Mayweather, there's all these fighters that you probably have bought a pay-per-view show, Canelo, because they know how to market themselves. They know how to get the right sponsorships. They have merch. So you have to have that social media presence and be able to market yourself. And make sure, also, what I did for myself too, get the right job that's going to give you an audience. You know, I was working at a Title Boxing Club, a fitness boxing studio, not a real boxing gym, but a boxing gym in itself that will bring people who are interested in boxing. The fans who probably would never buy a boxing ticket, because you're their trainer, you're able to promote a ticket sale from them. And it's not that you're using them just to get a ticket sale, but they're genuinely invested in you, and you should be genuinely invested in them. And that's what's going to help you grow, to get ticket sales, to get on bigger shows. Because the promoter he can just use you for the bigger guy, and you can be just their throwaway fighter, because this is a revolving door sport.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something. I remember I had a couple friends in the gym that were amateurs, and they were just training hard, and they were dreaming of pro, because they were training as an amateur, but they had to have a job, right, that paid the bills. And they said, you know, what they were thinking was that, oh, when I turn pro, I just get to do the same thing and get paid to be a boxer, dream come true. But in reality, when you turn pro, your manager is paying you for your audience. You know, people think that when I turn pro, the manager, the promotion is going to give me the fans. Actually, they expect you to have fans, and they want to take your fans, right? So if you have a market, you have more draw, you can command you have a little bit more negotiation over what fights to take, what fights not to take, and that you can dictate your terms. But if you don't have any fans, and they're like, look, you have no fans, you don't sell any tickets, we give you the fights that we want to give you. Most likely, you're going to be B-side, fighting a bigger guy, you're being fed to another guy who has fans. Because at the end of the day, the guy with the fans is the one they want to win. So keep that in mind, and just know that when you turn pro, you have to bring the money. It sucks, right? It's kind of weird. It's backwards, but you got to bring the money.
You know, just to add on to Johnny a bit too, but kind of going off topic as well, Arturo Gatti. That's the one thing when you were explaining that, that brings a lot of insight to me, because Arturo Gatti was never the most technical fighter, but he was action-packed. He had that kind of the pro style fight with the amateur style fight, just punch, 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 see what happens. And then he also had his little like pro side to him too. Just being able to be the fighter you want to be. And unfortunately, Arturo Gatti, rest his soul, he is a great name brand. He's a great name in boxing. He is one of the pioneers in the sport. And keep that in mind. Be the fighter you want to fight. And hopefully that is the style people want to see. You know, everyone's seen someone hold their hands up and throw a couple jabs. Anybody can do it. The hardest part is to hit and not to get hit. The hardest part is to be able to create a fan base who want to pay to see you win, or sometimes pay to see you lose, like Mayweather. So know what kind of style, kind of fighter, kind of marketing persona you want to be. The person they want to see win, the person they want to see lose. The underdog or the top dog, or kind of converge them both. So there's something that most amateurs don't really think about, is the style they wish to market themselves on. And don't change your style for anybody. If you trust your coach, trust your trainer, then yeah. But just know how to market, and that's one thing that will help you in your professional boxing career. And, you know, one thing I really think about after I finish this is having the right job. As I said, Tyler Boxing Club really helped me out. I built myself an audience from that gym lifestyle, and I was able to be in the gym for work and out of the gym for training. So that will help you a lot. Find a boxing gym that you can work out, find a fitness gym you can work out, find an audience, start a podcast, make videos, something that can help you build that fan base across the country or within your own state. Have the right relationship. I feel like having a cheerleader is great, a girl or a man who will help you, like, yeah, go, go, go. But also have a linebacker, someone who's going to help promote you too, someone who's also going to, you know, not only be a cheerleader, but also be your wide receiver to help you propel yourself out. And friends too. You don't want those friends who are going to drag you back and put you in a lifestyle you choose not to wish, because drinking, drugs, all that is not going to help you for your boxing game. So you want to make sure you know when to spend the right time with the right people and bring those people in who are going to help you up. You know, cut out negative influences. You know, if your parents are stressing you out, try to avoid your time. You don't have to cut them out completely, but you know where your time is going and where your mindset is. Got to have the right mindset. Relationships, jobs, the knowing when to turn on the boxing training, turn it off and go to real world. Turn off the real life stuff and go turn on the boxing training, and know how to use that, so that way you have the right mindset whichever door you step into, boxing or real life. And that is it, guys. I appreciate you watching this video. I'll see you guys real soon in the next video. My name is Willpower Coix, Johnny from Expert Boxing, and I'll see you in the next round.